Hello there.
General Kenobi.
Dude, seriously. That's the wrong line, and this is the intro, remember?
Oh, right. Welcome to the Discussion Alliance.
We cover the latest topics and news from all corners of the Star Wars universe. So grab your blue milk and keep your seals tight, because we've got a lot in store for you today.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Discussion Alliance. Amazing to have all the listeners and new ones here to listen to our third episode of, again, the Discussion Alliance. We've got some great things to talk about, Aidan. I'm very excited for what we have today. And, yeah, feeling good.
Hello. It's good. This is... Man, it feels so weird, because I'm usually the one who starts. But hey, it's like, you know what? Let's give it a shot. Let's give Kyle some spotlight. You know?
Thank you. Yeah, I need the practice. I feel like,
yeah.
Got to become a pro. Well, anyways.
Yeah, you did good.
Again, like usual. Yeah. Like usual, we're going to start off with some Star Wars news. And I think we got some cool stuff to go over today.
All right. So.
Do you want to kick us off, Aidan?
Yes, I would be more than happy to.
Awesome.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. So, in recent news, on May 18th, Disney had announced that it was shutting the doors to the Galactic Starcruiser Hotel, which is a Star Wars-themed hotel in Orlando. And it's coming to an end later this year. Jeez Louise. So, I'm going to be honest, Kyle, I only heard a little bit about this. Like, maybe just a whisper of this.
No, yeah,
hotel.
they did not promote it a ton. Like, you're definitely right about that.
Yeah, and hearing about it shutting down, I'm like, wait, what? Why have I heard about this before? And at the same time, it's like, wait, what is this again?
Yeah, I mean, I guess we can quickly go over it for people who may not know what it is. Pretty much, the Galactic Starcruiser is this. I guess the only way I could describe it in my mind is like an ultra fancy, immersive Star Wars experience. It's sort of like, think of it as you're staying at a Star Wars hotel, but Disney puts it into like this Star Wars experience for you. Okay, that wasn't the best description, but yeah, it's at Walt Disney World's resort, like you said, in Florida.
Yeah.
But of course, the big thing, I think one of the main reasons why most people didn't hear about it is, I have it written down, is the cost of going to this.
Oh, yeah.
I have it right in front of me. A 2-night stay starts at a cost of $4,800 for 2 people.
Holy heck.
Or $6,000 for 2 nights for a family of 4. Which, when you think about it, is crazy. I mean, even if you broke it down for, like, for example, the 2-night stay for 2 people, that is right there, $1,200 per person per night.
Oh my god!
Which is definitely a lot, especially since like this isn't like you're visiting somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, their job there is to immerse you into the Star Wars galaxy. So in a sense, hey, you're visiting the Star Wars universe, which is cool. But
yeah,
all you're doing is Star Wars, and so I mean, I'm not saying I would be disappointed in doing a ton of Star Wars stuff, but it's definitely a lot of money for that.
Yeah, jeez Louise, just hearing about that. Like, seriously, from what I am reading, it took them a good long while to, like, get this done. Like, I'm on the Forbes article right now. I'm trying to see where...
Oh, yeah.
Where did it say? I saw it... Yeah, here it is. Let's see. So, launched from tremendous fanfare in March 2022. Oh, geez. Wow.
It's been barely open a year now.
Yeah, the Galactic Starcruiser had spent the good part of a decade in development and took an estimated $400 million to build. according to Dennis Spiegel, founder and CEO of International Theme Park Services. Jeez, wait, 400 million. Jeez, man.
Well, part of it is that was the cost to build it. It sounds like from what you're saying.
Yeah, that's the cost it took to build.
We're both looking at different articles. And we've read through stuff, but something that's interesting is, I mean, in the headline of the one I'm reading for the New York Times, or actually the sub headline, but it talks about Disney is seeking to cut overall costs by more than $5 billion. So, I mean, just by the cost per night, the pictures showing how crazy detailed and, I'm going to use the word again, immersive this experience is, I don't even want to know the maintenance costs and just the costs to create such an experience for the customers who buy 2 nights, or who knows, people probably do more than 2 nights. Jeez, I don't even want to know the cost of that, but jeez, it's crazy that it would save them $5 billion.
Jeez Louise. Yeah, that's... Oh, man.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts. Let's see. Oh, yeah, something else that you and I discussed that we think was part of the reason why it closed. Yes, high cost, huge thing. Something else is also the fact that it is limited to one era of Star Wars, which is the sequel trilogy. We've talked about the sequel trilogy in the past episodes, but without saying, oh, the sequel trilogy is bad, without saying the sequel trilogy is good, just pretty much simply the sequel trilogy. The sequel trilogy is only one part of Star Wars.
Exactly.
And unfortunately, I feel like as cool it is, yes, it is the latest Star Wars content, so I guess it sort of makes sense for them to promote and use the latest Star Wars content and media. It would have been cool to see them dive back and do, well, like, for example, when you go to the hotel, it's not really a hotel, it's more of, I don't know what to call it, to be honest. You can choose to be part of the Resistance or the First Order. What would have been cool is, like, could we go back to the prequels, for example, choose to be part of the Republic or part of the Separatists, or even no, not before that. I was thinking release of movies. Going back to the original trilogy, could you be part of the Rebels or the Empire? And so I think that's something that they could have totally included, and I guess they just didn't. I mean, yeah, that was something that we thought maybe could have helped this succeed. Wasn't just limiting it to one era of Star Wars.
Yeah, I think that was a very poor choice, to be honest. Because it's like, the sequel trilogy era is not all Star Wars. Like, it's not the only thing that they should have thought about. However, I think the reason they just stuck to one era was because I think it might have been much more expensive to put it together and all that, you know?
You're definitely right about that. I mean, you already said, I believe you said it's $400 million.
Yeah, it took $400 million to build it the first place.
I mean,
so
it probably would have been way more.
Probably would have been, I think, maybe 3 times that much if they went with the other eras.
Per era.
Like, because, again, 400 million, that was probably just for the one era, as well as everything else that went through it. So maybe it might have been... I don't know. This is probably a random guess. Don't hold me to this, everyone watching at home or listening. Probably would have been somewhere over $1 billion just to do all of it.
Yeah.
So...
But I mean, considering the fact that they were willing to put this much money and everything into it, I mean, it may have been worth it. Who knows? I'm not an expert. We're not in their shoes looking at... I mean, they probably conducted surveys saying, like, would you be interested to come and see this? And who knows what their data was looking like.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is unfortunate to see them close, but it is what it is. I mean, to our listeners, if you are interested in going, this is not an ad for Disney or the Galactic, whatever it's called.
The Starcruiser. Galactic Starcruiser.
The Galactic Starcruiser. But Like Aidan said, it closes. I believe it said their last sort of like 2 day. They do them in 2 day runs. Is September 28th and the 30th. So get your tickets now before it's too late.
As only if you are able to spend thousands of dollars. I mean, because it's a lot.
Yeah.
Again, like seriously.
Yeah, I mean,
Louise,
I feel like it's sort of hard for people to go for, especially since like you can go to Disneyland or Disney World.
Yeah.
You can stay at their Disney themed hotels. I mean, they have of course like their traditional Mickey Mouse and stuff, theme stuff. I'm sure they have some Star Wars themed stuff.
Oh yeah, there's Galaxy's Edge and all that.
Exactly, yeah. Oh yeah, duh. They already have that. And then there's Star Wars rides and stuff. So the fact that they built this, now that I think about it more, it just seems quite a bit extra, and they're tailoring it to like a group of fans that I don't even know what group of fans that would be.
Yeah, I think that's, to be honest, that was a very terrible business decision on their end. Because, again, they've already got Star Wars themed attractions and all that for like with Galaxy's Edge and all the rides that they have at Disney World and Land. So yeah, why make something extra?
I believe Galaxy's Edge has been pretty popular, right? I've seen a lot of videos.
I have also seen a lot of videos about Galaxy's Edge. It's really popular with park attendants. Park attendants, or just people who attend the parks. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I was about to say like park attendants sound like I mean, I guess we were trying to say, but it sounded like people who work there. Yeah. All right. Well, I think that's it for the news. There's not much more we can build on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we thought we'd share that with you guys. Just again, Star Wars news, not the most positive and great Star Wars news, but
it's news.
Ups and downs. It's gonna happen.
Anyway.
All right.
So
let's get to the meat of today's podcast.
Yeah. So first off, the Clone Wars Season 7. Good gosh. It has already been 3 years since Season 7 released.
Yeah, that's...
holy crap.
That's
and I'm going to be honest, that was like the first season that I watched like in its entirety. But because previously, I would only watch maybe a few episodes or arcs from Clone Wars that I had only seen like... I'm a sporadic watcher sometimes. I'm a sporadic watcher. I choose whatever I feel like is interesting. Like, the rebellion on Onderon, the
oh, that's a good one.
Let's see what else. That's a very key example. Like I stick to the arcs that they provide in earlier seasons and all that. I am starting to watch Clone Wars in its entirety. I think I'm on the 11th episode of season 1.
Okay, going all the way back. That's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I'll definitely... I mean, the other day, I was just rewatching Umbara battle scenes.
Oh, yeah, that was a good one, too.
Well, I mean, I've watched all of the seasons like over and over so many times. But yeah, I definitely find myself going back, and I'm like, I want to watch the Citadel today, or let's watch the Battle of Geonosis #2. Let's just have fun.
Yeah. Well, back on the topic of season 7, I have to say that it's it's an interesting season. I know they were originally going to have it during the original run of the show, but then after Disney acquired it, wasn't Clone Wars canceled after?
The show got canceled.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2013 was season 5, and that's when they had heard that was Filoni and George Lucas. They had plans for the Mandalorian arc and stuff, because like one of the last things that we see is, for example, Obi-Wan getting helped off Mandalore by Bo-Katan. He's going to go to the Jedi Order and report stuff. But then, of course, we never see that.
Yeah,
And
there were a
so,
lot of things
so
that
because
were
they knew that they were
scrapped.
getting canceled, and they lost their Cartoon Network stuff. They did like a bonus season. Season 6 essentially was a bonus season that they did with Netflix, and then that was it.
Yeah, well, thank goodness they kept season 6 when Disney Plus launched too.
Yeah, that's for sure. I mean, yeah. Looking back at season 7, I mean, season 7 totally set up. Of course, it was used as sort of a bounce pad for the Bad Batch, which some could argue, in a sense, is sort of like a Clone Wars season 8 and a season 9,
And
because
soon to be
the second Bad
season
Batch
10.
came out.
With
Yeah,
Because Bad Batch season 3 is coming out sometime in the near future.
I think the crazy thing that I see with season 7, and everyone knows
Uh-huh.
this, is just the graphics of season 7. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
the quality is such a huge step up. There's definitely some episodes of the original Clone Wars series where you can tell they put a lot more time, and like filler episodes, they don't always I can recall some filler episodes where they just didn't put a ton into it. They're like, here we just need an episode, but there's some episodes. Whereas I know I mentioned it earlier, but season 3, the Citadel. I mean, maybe it's just me, but I swear that there's quite a step up in quality in those particular season 3 episodes versus some of the other ones, and it just shows that they spent more time and effort into those episodes, which makes sense because it's such a cool and such a crucial arc of the Clone Wars. But then now that you have season 7, where they have so much funding, as we know, to make this finale, they just went all out with everything. I mean, the movements are so fluid on their animations, and then of course the graphics. I mean, they got explosions. I mean, there's no more clones where it's a cutscene and all of a sudden his armor's white, and then you get to the close up, and now he has his blue stripes and stuff. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, and
But
and there was just so much cut from the final product too. It's
that's for sure. Yeah.
yeah, just today, as of recording this, it turns out that there was supposed to be an arc on Utapau, in Revenge of the Sith when Grievous fights Kenobi.
I totally forgot about this. Yeah, with the big crystal, I think, right?
Yeah, it was. I just looked it up right now. It was the Crystal Crisis on Utapau, or something like that, and it's just a whole hour and 18 minute? No, almost an hour and a half worth of unfinished footage and all that. So,
do you know exactly what the plot was going to be? Because I honestly I watched some of the unreleased clips of sort of the beta projects, but I never saw or read anything about what the actual plot was.
let's see. I'm gonna look it up.
All right.
Let's see. So, according to Wikipedia,
Everyone loves Wikipedia.
yeah. Let's see. What was the?
I mean, I remember watching
Okay, so here's the plot summary.
General Grievous on his speeder carrying that massive kyber crystal.
Yeah.
Obi-Wan and Anakin chasing after him.
Let's see. So the official description is Anakin and Obi-Wan must escape Utapau with the kyber crystal before General Grievous and his droid army track them down. Let's see. Stranded on Utapau, scouring the sinkhole planet, attempting to stop a dangerous arms deal between Sugi Raiders and General Grievous, Anakin Skywalker and Obi-Wan Kenobi learn that the weapon for sale is a massive kyber crystal, a powerful energy source which, if in the wrong hands, could be harnessed into a weapon of unspeakable horror. That was most likely hinting at the Death Star or something.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if part of why they canceled it was just how it would fit in with Revenge of the Sith, because the whole thing with Utapau, from what I understand, was like that was sort of like a retreat for the separatists.
Yeah.
And so I don't know why it makes sense that.
Yeah, for some reason that's.
Yeah, it was supposed to be like, if I remember
sense to
correctly,
me.
there's a separatist droid. I don't know what they're called again, but it's pretty much Trade Federation ships. They're sort of like mini Death Stars. Do you know what I'm picturing right now?
I think so.
But pretty much it was like, I know one for sure. There may have been a second one, but they embedded themselves into sort of like the big caverns in Utapau.
Mm-hmm.
And it's supposed to be like their outer rim safe haven, pretty much.
Right.
And so, other than maybe if there was like, yeah, I don't remember the dialogue, but it sounded like when, for example, Cody was briefing Obi-Wan or whatever before they did the Battle of Utapau, pretty much.
Yeah.
Like it sounded like it was all pretty new to them. Like it wasn't like, oh, we've been here before, blah blah blah.
Yeah, most likely. Probably like they've been there before, but it was probably sometime before Revenge of the Sith as well. So
yeah, well, also with like the like for example, when Obi-Wan lands and the natives, like I don't know if it's their chairman or something like that, but he pretty much says like we are being held hostage. He says like thousands of battle droids, like, and then he says like whatever level or of something. But it sort of sounds like then at that time, General Grievous had come pretty recently to Utapau.
Mm-hmm.
Because that would have been during the Outer Rim sieges, and General Grievous was retreating at that time and pulling back his forces as the Republic was pushing forward.
Yeah, and there was another thing I remembered from what they weren't able to finish on this. There was the discussion between Obi-Wan and Anakin about Ahsoka's decision leaving the Jedi Order.
In front of the campfire, right?
Yeah.
I totally forgot about these clips, yeah.
Yeah, I remember because I saw this video. You know of Cinematic Captures, that YouTube channel?
Yep, very cool stuff.
Yeah, and they remade that entire scene, like, entirely.
Yeah, using Unreal Engine, I believe.
Yeah, I think it was Unreal Engine.
Yeah, that was cool. I mean, the audio was perfect. All he had to do was, of course, build the scene around sort of the framework that had been released.
Yeah, and just everything about this. It's. I think it would have made sense because I know Anakin was distraught and upset that Ahsoka decided to leave. Because he was emotionally attached to her as in, like an apprentice, master-apprentice, longtime friends kind of thing.
No, yeah, that was something we didn't get to see, of course, like we were talking, is the fact that the Clone Wars TV show got canceled after 2014, I believe. So
Yeah.
I think originally, like, there wasn't going to be as much time between when Ahsoka leaves and the Battle of Mandalore happens.
Yeah.
Whereas I'm not sure how much time, but it sounds like many months go by, or I would guess like maybe upwards of 8 to 9 months, so like from when she left to when the Battle of Mandalore. I would think, like, realistically, like it would be like a year and a half, just the amount of change that happens. Maybe even 2 years. But of course, the Clone Wars didn't last that many years. I think it was like only 2-3 years or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So of course that wouldn't fit in the timeline.
Yeah, that seems a bit off, to be honest. Yeah, and yeah, there was a lot. There was a lot that was cut out. TLDR, the season 7 never got a chance to happen when Disney canceled it. But now that we have a season 7, let's actually talk about that before we dawdle on too long about what wasn't in it.
What wasn't in it?
What was not
well, yeah,
meant
obviously
to be.
It was the 3 main arcs, which the first one was bringing back Echo, and of course introducing the Bad Batch, which was for, now that we know, the Bad Batch TV show. A lot of that was introducing the characters.
Yeah. To be honest, I think it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Just introducing introducing this cast of characters, this new cast of characters.
I'm gonna look it up real quickly. The Bad Batch director.
Yeah.
So it is a different person. This is what comes up. Who directed Star Wars Bad Batch? Is developed by Dave Filoni.
Oh yeah.
Directed by. I'm getting a couple different answers here.
Oh, so that they usually have more than one director for each episode, as we all know.
No, yeah, directed by. It says here Brad Rao, I believe that's how you pronounce it. Another name that comes up is Anna Lily. Oh my god, I'm gonna butcher this. Emerpour? I'm not sure, but yeah, I mean different directors, but it wasn't spearheaded by Dave Filoni as much as, for example, the Clone Wars show is. And anyways, the reason why I'm talking about that is something, again, I just rewatched, you and I were talking about this before the podcast.
Yeah.
I just rewatched that arc yesterday and the day before, just in 2-episode segments. Something that's interesting to see is the change in the characteristics of the Bad Batch themselves.
Yeah.
Like in the 4-episode arc within season 7, they definitely make their characters distinct. Tech, he's unlocking doors. He's being techie.
Yeah.
You got Hunter, who's everyone jokes that he looks like Rambo. He is very just sort of, like deep voice, just sort of like, you got it, Captain. Like he's totally, I feel like your classic.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna put that I'm gonna
guy.
edit this. I'm gonna put a comparison between friggin' Hunter and and Rambo.
Rambo. I mean, he's got the face paint. He's got the long hair. I mean, it looks perfect.
Yeah,
he's totally very controlled and sort of like. Yeah, your classic action hero, and again, looks like Rambo. You got Crosshair, which is your sniper,
the silent
very
type,
calm, silent guy,
very silent but deadly.
Guy who they introduced, Echo.
I just unintentionally made a fart joke.
Wait, what?
I said silent but deadly, but then I realized I made a fart joke.
Yeah.
What was I thinking?
I didn't hear it for a second.
Anyway, as you were saying.
Yeah. Yeah. So you got. Yeah. So I said Hunter. I said
Tech. And Crosshair.
Oh, Crosshair, and then of course Wrecker, who we learn is sort of the big guy, just wants to blow stuff up.
Yeah,
he's scared of heights. It's really clearly established.
Yeah.
And within the Bad Batch, I mean, it was a lot of character building, especially in season 2.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just going back. There's definitely a huge character transformation for them.
Oh,
they go from these sort of just like, I don't know if having fun is the right way to describe like their sort of way that they pursue or experience the Clone Wars, but they're very just like, okay, battle, let's have fun with it, boom, boom, we win.
Right.
And then you got the actual TV show where it's more of them with this uncertainty of with what each new day brings for them.
Wow.
I didn't really get my point across as well as I hoped there, but I don't know. Hopefully that was worth saying.
Yeah, it's really interesting because, I was not sure that I'd be seeing them again, like after season 7, because that was the final season. But when they announced that the Bad Batch was coming, it's like, oh yeah, sweet, I get to see more of these guys.
Did you look at that?
I'm curious. I was curious about those too.
Yeah. I mean, we could talk more about it, but I feel like it'd be good to move on to the second arc.
Oh God, I'd
season
have to
7.
say by far the worst arc of. Okay, not the worst.
The one with
not the worst, but it's like could have been better.
Yeah, I gotta remind myself of the sisters' names real quick. The Martez sisters.
Yeah, the Martez. I
It
always
was Trace.
Yeah.
And oh boy, I'm trying to remember. Rafa. That's what it is. Rafa's the older sister, right?
Pretty sure.
It might be the other way around. I mean, yeah, after talking with people, especially like right when these episodes came out, not a huge favorite, and based on your reaction, it sounds like you weren't a huge fan of it.
It was like, meh, it's okay, but just not doing that well for me.
That is totally understandable. I mean, it's a completely different pace. You got no big battles going on.
Yeah.
It's very... I mean, a lot of it is introducing the Martez sisters. I thought we would see more of them, like see them later.
Yeah.
If I recall correctly, there's like a Bad Batch episode. Oh yeah, there is a Bad Batch episode where they meet the Martez sisters.
I think it was season.
And it sounds like they work with Captain Rex, and they know Ahsoka, and they even have the astromech that they had on their ship. I'm not sure if that was R4 or something like
Maybe.
that, but if I remember correctly. But I'm interested to see their future. But going back to this, I mean, here we are introducing these Rafa, who is sort of like I feel like entrepreneur would be too nice of a description. More of a some pretty much trying to make money in the underground of Coruscant, not necessarily the most ethical business practices potentially. And then you got Trace, who is more of a mechanic,
and
hoping to leave Coruscant someday as she builds her ship. But then, of course, Ahsoka, who we're focusing on, we're sort of seeing her
in life,
I guess, sort of cope with how she feels about how she wants to be like a normal citizen, but at the same time, she still feels her ties with the Jedi Order.
Right. Yeah, and it's interesting because we only see a little bit of how I'm trying to find the words, but I can't find them exactly. All I can say is that, we did look into that a bit and saw how Ahsoka was dealing with herself after leaving the Order. That was...
I mean, I thought it was really cool. This is different. But, like, dealing with the Pike Syndicate and, again, exploring more of the underworld, and I guess like spice trafficking would be the right name for it, but sort of looking at the crime syndicate world, which eventually they do bring in Maul, and which is cool to see because I believe season 7 came after Solo, the movie.
Yeah,
so we knew that Maul had connections to... I mean, we knew back in season 5 of Clone Wars when he takes over Death Watch and he's collecting different crime syndicates.
Yeah.
We understand that backstory of how he became so powerful, I'm going to call it, in that department. And then Solo, the movie, sort of looks at... I mean, he's not a main character by any means. He shows up for like 5 seconds. But in a hologram. But we sort of see his reign of power in live action, and then here we are coming back to the animated, seeing sort of the in between.
Oh yeah, it's
and that was definitely cool.
to
see. I mean, the Pikes, I believe we had only previously seen in, I think it was some season 5 episodes.
I think
when
so.
Obi-Wan and Anakin go to, I'm forgetting the name of the planet that the Pikes are from. Do you remember?
No, but there was something of a story arc involving the Pikes. I want to say pipes.
Oh.
I want to say pipes,
Pipes.
but
They're from
Pikes.
Obadiah. That's the name of the planet.
Obadiah.
Or Obadiah. I thought it was Obadiah.
Let us know in the
But-
comments, or if you're watching this on YouTube, like what if it's pronounced
we had
Obadiah
only
or Obadiah.
previously. Yeah,
It's been a while.
we had only previously we only previously saw them in, I believe, 1 or 2 episodes, and that's when I believe Count Dooku killed their leader.
I think
right?
so.
It was in a duel, and you had Obi-Wan and Kenobi fighting on one side, Count Dooku, and then all of these Pikes and sort of their leader. All these soldiers pop out of a blast door, and they all start fighting together against Count Dooku. And of course, Count Dooku escapes.
Yeah.
But other than those episodes, we practically never seen the Pikes in any episodes. So I'm not saying I was like chanting, I want to see more Pikes, but it was just cool to, just get more content about them, especially since they're such a unique species and group of characters in Star Wars.
Yeah. Yeah. Good gosh.
Yeah, we're not going. I don't know. I'm blaming part of this on myself. We're not going as in depth
Yeah.
as maybe I'd hoped, but we're sort of we're reviewing things, recollecting.
Yeah,
sort of just
reminiscing.
remembering the cool stuff.
Yeah.
Of course, the most popular, probably the most important
The
one.
Battle of
in a sense,
Mandalore and the end of the Clone
final
Wars.
arc. Yeah, that is.
That was my
where
favorite
all
part.
The clips.
That was my favorite part of the entire season.
I mean, I could not disagree with you at all. Quite amazing. Of course, it's a little reminder for everyone. I'm sure if you're watching or listening to this, you know it probably as well as we do, but maybe even better. But those episodes was about, it just followed the 4-episode arc of Ahsoka returning. At the end of that arc, she meets up with Bo-Katan. And you could say almost in a sense Bo-Katan was sort of using Ahsoka, but Ahsoka sort of in a sense wanted to return to the Republic. And Bo-Katan and Ahsoka contact the Republic, and they have an idea to take back Mandalore. And this is how we have the, I don't know if this is the right word, the reconnection of Anakin and Ahsoka briefly. And we sort of get to see the last time that they would ever see each other.
Yep.
Because in season 5, I mean, that's quite the ending when you think about it, the episode that Ahsoka leaves.
Yeah.
I mean, they could have ended it off like that, but of course,
Yeah.
Ahsoka is such a beloved character that they brought her back. But I think they made as good of a sort of ending for the two of them when they leave each other.
Yeah. And it's like there's that small hint of, I don't know, maybe closure? Would you say it's a bit of closure?
I mean, between the two characters, definitely. I mean, he gives her the lightsabers. I mean, I feel like that whole sort of scene was staged super well. I mean, Captain Rex showing all of the Ahsoka helmets for the clone troopers.
That just shows that showed us and her that they really do consider her as like someone to look up to and follow.
Definitely. And then, of course, when... I mean, just after Anakin gives her the lightsabers, I mean, it just shows his trust in her, even though they haven't seen each other for a long time.
Yeah.
His trust to give her Captain Rex and part of the 501st. And, I mean, they part ways, but it was done very nicely.
Oh,
And
yeah.
next thing we know, we have the Battle of Mandalore. I mean, I could rewatch that sort of main landing scene over and over again.
Oh, yeah.
That music was super well done. I mean, that was one of those moments where I was like, he's back. Kevin Kiner is back. I know not all the Clone Wars music was done by Kevin Kiner, but I mean, most of the credit goes to him. And I all I want to say is that his music in the Clone Wars is pretty awesome.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and then moving on to the actual Battle of Mandalore, that was just hyped as heck. Like,
Yeah, I think they did. I mean, when I rewatch it, part of me craves like for some more big battle stuff, or just maybe some more shots showing the scale and like the size of like how big this battle was. But the pacing was actually pretty well done in the end. I mean, they gotta get some of the important bits, like with Jesse when he's captured, or the duel between Ahsoka and Ahsoka and Maul.
Yeah.
And of course,
Oh my God.
Bo-Katan and Almec. And this is all within
They
2 episodes because it begins midway through the first one, ends midway through the third. And this
Yep.
isn't even before we get to Order 66 and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
Which is crazy. It's just crazy to think that they fit this whole battle into it all.
Yeah, they despite the very few episodes that they were given, they were able to like get everything just done within such a short amount of time. Well, like they executed everything well.
Yeah.
And
So something that I think, I mean, obviously season 7 was closure. I mean, introducing the Bad Batch, bringing back Ahsoka, sort of putting together this finale, but it definitely built her character up for The Mandalorian season 2.
mm-hmm.
Because not only do we get a little bit of an older looking Ahsoka in season 7 compared to the original Clone Wars seasons, but the way that she acts and carries herself is definitely, I'm just gonna use the word like as like a wiser Jedi, more
Like
Jedi Knight, like more Jedi Master. I mean the way that she is. I mean the way she fights. The Death Watch Mandalorians. She isn't going for kills. She's like slicing their blasters and kicking them away. When that one clone pilot is going down, she cuts him loose and he's able to eject out of there.
Yeah.
I mean it totally set this whole sort of precedent for who she was. And then you got The Mandalorian season 2, which came out,
Oh my God.
I want to say
2020
later that year.
Like same year.
Yeah, and then and that's when we got to see a live action Bo-Katan with a live action Ahsoka, and just sort of Ahsoka being this. I'm gonna say it sort of like what the Kenobi TV show should have been, like sort of this wandering Jedi who's just doing good deeds wherever she can.
Yeah, and she does all this stuff that a Jedi, like traditionally a Jedi should do.
Yeah.
And
Well, going back to Mandalore, do you know about the mocap suit stuff for the duel?
oh yeah, I saw the behind the scenes for that. That was cool. And they got the original guy for Maul to do that. And
That was fantastic.
That was so
That's
awesome.
something that I mean, people could pick on. I mean, I feel like with any animated stuff, but
like yeah, you could
I
point
think
it.
that the Clone Wars animated stuff looks quite fantastic.
It's like
for CGI and stuff.
you
There's obviously
couldn't even
stuff
tell.
that people make in Unreal and stuff that
Yeah.
looks amazing, but for how fluid their mocap stuff was and that duel was,
Yeah.
it was definitely top tier cinematic quality. I know that the finale won some awards. I hope something related to that was one of them.
Possibly.
I mean, it is obvious, not super obvious, but it is easy to tell, like, whoa, the way that the characters move in this fight compared to all the scenes before it is definitely much more fluid and feels much more natural. But that's just such a cool bit that they added in, because like you said, they brought back the original Maul actor, and they brought in the person who played Ahsoka. They brought in like people who knew what they were doing, like actual fighters who knew who were choreographed and made an amazing fight scene.
Yeah.
Actually, now that I think about it, even the little bits of like showing Ahsoka when she was like sort of panting, like she was tired out, like at some bits, or her reacting back when she got hit in the face or something like that.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
all of this was able to be put in, and because they did the mocap. Whereas if you had someone animating this, they may not even think to put that stuff in, because you don't have the sort of live recording to pull from.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So anyways, I just wanted to bring that up because since we're sort of going back and we're looking at some of the neat stuff of the episodes, that was something that totally stuck out to me.
Yeah. And yeah, it's a lot. It was a lot. I'd have to say that in all the Star Wars battles and duels, Maul versus Ahsoka would have to be my all-time favorite.
Definitely. Oh, I can't believe we've gone over so much, and we got the last part.
Yeah, which is
Order 66.
Order 66 and the end of the Clone Wars.
That was definitely more of I can't imagine. I don't know if I can properly imagine it, but I could see them in their sort of planning meeting.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Hey, how can we make the fans cry?"
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah, they did a really good job with
yeah,
it
and it's
to close it. I mean, it totally felt like when Order 66 happens, you sort of, in my opinion, you sort of feel against the clones at first because that's what Order 66 was. But by the time you get to the ending with like the burial,
oh God,
like, you totally feel bad for them.
Don't remind me.
Yeah, that was sort of. I think this is why we really didn't want to like. We kept pushing like the Mandalore Battle of Mandalore part because when you get to this like the Order 66 stuff, ooh,
yeah, and it's just like, great. We're now gonna see a beloved character deal with this horrific galaxy-wide event.
Yeah. Well, I think one of the main takeaways from the final episode was the fact that Captain Rex survives. People were never sure. Like, there was a lot of things about Cody surviving. I mean, we never knew, like, when Revenge of the Sith came out. With Rex, nobody knew. There was, if I remember correctly, tons of YouTube channels for years were like, did Rex survive? Did he not? I think it was later established, I mean, as we know, that I mean, it wasn't in the original plans, but they made him out to survive and be one of the commanders in the Battle of Endor. That guy, of course, that we know, who dresses up in the stormtrooper armor, has a white beard, and they sort of built off that.
Yeah, and then
this was like our main confirmation that like he survived.
Yeah, and I know there were some people out there who were just like really confused as to how Rex was still alive during the time of the Empire in Star Wars Rebels. You know, when Ahsoka tasks Ezra, Kanan, and just the others to find an old friend of hers who turns out to be Captain Rex, Commander Wolf, and Gregor.
Something I'm totally interested to see with the Bad Batch. We'll see. I mean, we're getting to bits and pieces of it.
Mm-hmm.
What happens to Cody, of course.
Oh, yeah.
But also, because of Rebels, how the heck did they find Gregor? Especially since he blew up in Rhydonium. That was season 5. Another make you cry scene. And then with Commander Wolf, I mean, out of all characters, I think that was definitely more fan service. But, like, that would be cool for them to pursue and sort of explain, like, how the heck did that happen?
Yeah.
I mean, there's definitely a lot to work with. I mean, what was crazy is that we had this Order 66 scene that, I mean, everyone loves, cried over. It was amazing and super well done. And then, of course, we have the Bad Batch. In the first episode, we get another Order 66 scene. I totally forgot that opener was, like, over an hour long, right?
Mm-hmm. I think so.
I mean, I think it was. Yeah, I mean, it was a huge sort of like, let's start off with a bang. It was like equal to about 3 episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely cool to look back at. I mean, I'm sure there's more we could have said, but
yeah,
season 7 was definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, they brought in the Bad Patch, like you said. The Martez arc wasn't the best. it was definitely cool for character building. They definitely brought a lot of neat elements. But of course, what really put the cherry on top was the Mandalore arc, and overall, it was a great final season and a bit of homage to close off the Clone Wars TV show.
Yeah, and it's just, I have to add in one more thing.
Sure, go ahead.
Just at the very end of the episode, the time jump between when Ahsoka and Rex buried their fallen brethren, and we cut forward to the future.
How could I forget?
That just gave me chills. Just even rewatching it today, I was just like, oh god, it still has that impact.
Oh, yeah, seeing all going from sort of this sort of barren wasteland with the Venator crash to a snow-covered planet.
Yeah,
it was so cool, now that I think about it, to see Clone Wars style animated snowtroopers
and stormtroopers, even Darth Vader
Same
too.
goes for Darth Vader. They even had an Imperial probe. Like, that was super cool.
Yeah, just visually, that was amazing.
Imperials in that animation style. Totally love that.
Yeah, and it was just like, I have to be honest with you. When I saw Darth Vader pick up Ahsoka's lightsaber and ignite it, I was like, wait, why would she leave one of them? Why couldn't she just leave two? And then I thought, wait. The reason she left one instead of both of them is just to give the assumption that she died in the crash and to cover her tracks, so that the Empire doesn't.
I think
go
that was part of
her.
it. But I think also another part was she was just actually what you said that probably makes sense in some points. I think part of it was also just like her trying to physically and like emotionally, mentally let go of what just happened to her through the lightsaber. Like, try to put that in the past.
Yeah.
Like, she came back, she fought in Mandalore, she experienced Order 66, and I feel like for her, even though, like, that was a totally distraught and I don't know if horrific is a bit extreme, but just crazy experience, that was sort of like the piece that she could use to let go of all that just happened.
Yeah. And it's, yeah, you know what? I didn't really think about it like that. So, yeah, that's interesting.
I mean, yeah, that's what I was thinking. What you said also could totally go with what I just said. I mean, either way, I think, yeah.
Yeah. And it's just like when Vader walks off and we see his reflection in the visor of that clone helmet, it's just like,
that's really artsy. That was cool.
And from what I've been seeing and from what I think, it's also the fact that, that's just signified the end of the Clone Wars and that a new era was beginning.
Well, yeah, show that transition from, like you said, Republic to Empire.
Yeah. And so we just...
Well, what was... Now that I think about it, something that was unique, at least for my situation, was that, like, when The Mandalorian came out and when... I think this is true, with the Clone Wars TV show. The Clone Wars TV show... Oh, I'm trying to remember.
Yeah.
I don't think I saw it right away, like, when it came out. I don't think I had Disney Plus yet, because Disney Plus was pretty new at the time.
Yeah.
And so when I got Disney Plus, I had the whole first season of The Mandalorian came out. I think the whole season 7 of Clone Wars came out also. So for me, it wasn't the same. My experience wasn't the same as people who had watched them release week by week. I think, if I'm remembering correctly.
Yeah.
But, I mean, this was definitely sort of like The Mandalorian, one of their main pilot shows in a sense to help kick off Disney Plus.
Yeah, I think that was part of it. Just one of their shows to help get Disney Plus off the ground and draw viewers in.
For sure, yeah.
Yeah, and it was just, man.
Yeah. Amazing show. Amazing season.
Such an amazing season. Yeah, mostly good, some bad.
Overall amazing, though.
Yeah. Heck yeah, man.
Well, we've got one more thing on the agenda. We've been going for a pretty long time. You think we're still up for it?
You know what? I think we should save it for another episode. Like, dude, we've been talking for almost an hour at this point.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it was us sort of collecting our thoughts and whatnot. I'm just going to say it. I'll admit, folks, this was not our most prepared episode.
Yeah.
We both have been really busy with, I'm going to say it, with school stuff. Ended the school year. It's just about here. I know some friends and stuff who've already ended, some who are about to end. I personally just ended as of today of recording this.
Yeah.
Pretty crazy. So I hope today's episode was at least somewhat satisfactory.
Yeah.
But I mean, season 7 was definitely something we had wanted to talk about, especially for, I mean, yes, this is subjective.
Oh, yeah.
How amazing it is.
Yep. Totally. Well, yeah.
Well, great.
That's, I think that's going to wrap it up for us today. So thank you all so much for listening. Make sure to go check us out over on Spotify and other audio services that you listen to. Also, make sure to check us out on YouTube at the Discussion Alliance. We're also available on Instagram at the _discussion_alliance.
Yeah, the Instagram page was just recently created by us, so as of the recording of this video, we don't have anything up. We'll definitely start posting some stuff. We'll showcase the previous 2 episodes that we've posted, as well as this one that you're listening to right now. By the time you listen to this, you may have seen the post or not, but we definitely want to start utilizing that. And again, our main stuff is posting on YouTube and Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcast.
Yeah.
But we thought Instagram would be a great way for if any of you want to reach out to us with questions or even suggestions for future content. But yeah, we just wanted to have that tool out there.
Yeah. So, all right. Yeah, that's it. Thank you all so much, and we'll see you around in a galaxy far,
Thank you,
far
everyone.
away.
We appreciate you guys listening to us. It means a lot to us.
Yeah. All right. Well, may the force be with you.